Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and the latest attack on the Second Amendment comes from a technology company. We've had Marcus Lemonis, CEO of Camping World and Outdoor World, telling people if he voted for Donald Trump, I don't want your money, and sticking to it even after a NASCAR driver cancels a $250,000 RV order. We've had members of Congress just demand that you just hand in your AR-15 now. Don't wait. We're not going to make a law about it. You're just going to do it. And when we don't, they cry. We had the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods pull AR-15s from their shelves and refuse to sell any rifle to anyone under 21. There was even a young man working for Dick's Sporting Goods that publicly resigned, saying, I can't work for a store that denies me my constitutional rights. If what I saw is to be believed, he was hired by Academy and I hope is doing well. You see, now it's technology. We have a software maker basically ordering retailers, you will sell the products we want you to sell, or you won't use our service. Now, I've worked a little bit with Salesforce. I've worked a little bit with other software titles similar to it, and I honestly don't like any of them. I don't like using stuff like this. I prefer very simple tracking. When I was working for the photo lab I worked for in the mid to late 90s, and one of my responsibilities as lab manager was to procure corporate contracts with police departments, fire departments, businesses, insurance agencies, anyone I could. And I had schools, police departments, fire departments, ambulance companies, churches, retail stores, car dealerships, insurance agencies. I had them all because I did good work. I tracked them in a spreadsheet. And I tracked everything from how many rolls of film they did every month to did they want doubles or triples or quadruples? Did they want 3.5 by 5, 4 by 6, 5 by 7? I tracked all these things. With police departments, I had to track who picked up what roll because if it was casework, there was a chain of custody. And I had to know that Detective Barnes dropped off roll number 843 related to case number 19874. And Corporal Barnes, or Detective Barnes, picked up that roll related to that case. And I didn't release it to anybody else. I had to be the one to print everything. And in a simple spreadsheet, I did what I can't make these other software titles do. But this to me is just more liberal SJW tyrant rule tactics. Now, I personally want these FFL dealers that sell the AR-15 and these companies that have retail stores that sell them to contact Salesforce and say, okay, you've ordered us to quit using your software. Therefore, you are in breach of our contract. We purchased your software for X amount of time. We're now going to be referring our legal department to your order to cease and desist using what you granted us the legal ability to use for a certain amount of time. Expect a call from our attorney. Click. Don't answer the phone when they call back. Don't even acknowledge that they're begging you to use their software now. Get all of your money back, track another way. This is the same crap that they used with just to censor people, to make life hard, to make retail hard with banks, where people said, oh, they sell AR-15s. They shouldn't be able to have a bank account anywhere. And certain banks agreed. It's going to come back. It's going to bite them right in the hindquarters. Because look at the history of liberals ordering people around and how wonderfully it works. Liberals have boycotted Chick-fil-A countless times in the last 10 years alone. And every time they call for a boycott of Chick-fil-A, the line gets longer and longer and longer. And Chick-fil-A finds yet more and more wonderful ways to handle long lines. I can tell you, I have personally been at least the 40th person back in line in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A because the parking lot's full and the restaurant's packed. And as I sit in that line, I either wait to pull up an order or I use my app. And even 40 cars back, I'm done in 10 minutes or less. They know how to run that business, and they put out great quality food. And every time some liberal says kick them off campus, people rally. Every time a city says you can't be in our airport, people rally. Every time people stand outside and picket, people rally. When you look at people who said they weren't going to advertise with Laura Ingraham or Tucker or Sean or any of the Fox personalities, viewership went up and sales at those places went down. Disney is now telling the state of Georgia they will no longer work in the state of Georgia as long as abortion is illegal. Yes, a company that makes children's movies won't work in a state where children are protected. Explain that one if you can. Disney is going to see sales of tickets and DVDs and the rest drop dramatically. Hollywood is ordering us around, and we're going to see things drop dramatically. Dick's Sporting Goods famously pulled, as I said, all what they called assault rifles from their shelves. There was one time when they were contemplating not selling firearms. Their sales dropped dramatically, while Cabela's, Academy, Bass Pro all started doing really well. I don't know how many more lessons are going to have to be taught. I don't want any business to just fail. Because as much as I don't like software like Salesforce or any of the others, I can't remember any of the others right off the top of my head, but as much as I don't like software like this, I know there are a lot of people who do. And granted, I was running a very small photo lab, very small area for my photo lab chain. I didn't have near as much to track, but in my current job, I've had to track interactions with over 50 clients, and each of these clients had 5 to 10 people I would talk to regularly, and I mean every couple of weeks. And I tracked it in a spreadsheet. Add a line here, here's a new point of contact. Here's what they're in charge of. Here's what they need to be able to make my software do. And I tracked it in a spreadsheet. It's not as convenient as a form that you can go back and look at like a PDF, but honestly, it's fine for me. And I don't see this ending with just the firearms dealers telling Salesforce to take a hike. I see other companies doing it as well. Think about a real estate office where the owner and his agents are all avid hunters and Second Amendment advocates, and they use Salesforce. And Salesforce has now very publicly said, if you sell any guns we don't like, you're not allowed to use our software. I can see that real estate company calling Salesforce and saying, yeah, we're not going to use you anymore because you have ordered people we support to obey you, not their own business models. I can see it happening. And it's sad because it will harm a company that a lot of people do business with. And those people then are going to have to find new ways to track their business and do their business. But if we have enough of these companies that are educated like this by logical thinking Americans, maybe the others will realize, stay in your lane. You're an IT firm. You're a restaurant. You're an uneducated, idiot, liberal hack that has managed to parlay a bit role on a big TV show 50 years ago into a career. Rob Reiner, meathead. Stay in your lane. I don't agree with much of the politics of Hollywood, but I can tell you there are a lot of people I vehemently disagree with on politics that are extremely good actors. I'm not going to name names because I don't care right now, because there are a lot of them that, yeah, they've talked about their politics, but they don't shove it in your face. But there are some who blatantly say, if you voted for Donald Trump, don't go see my movies. And I don't. And yeah, that's going to punish other people. That one there specifically was Jennifer Lawrence, for those who remember. And for the Disney Georgia boycott thing, and for Jennifer Lawrence, I won't be seeing Dark Phoenix. And unfortunately, that's going to punish other people who may not think like Jennifer Lawrence. I'm sorry, but it's my money. And I'm now voting with my wallet regularly. Yes, I read a lot of books now. I listen to a lot of classical music now. I do more work outside on my land. I spend time with my dogs. I've basically gone back to the lifestyle I lived in 1980s. And you know what? I'm a little bit happier for it. I don't have all the crap coming at me from all over TV. I don't have all the crap coming at me from the radio. And I don't have to worry about it. And it'll be really interesting to see where this all ends up. Who will be the companies that survive? Who will be the actors that survive? Will we return to a 1980s era style Hollywood? I'd rather go back to even the 50s because it was just so much better back then. But I guess we'll see. If I can make one prediction, I can think much like Lamonis did with his move at Holiday World, much like Dick's Sporting Goods, I think Salesforce is in for a very rude awakening on what happens when you tell Americans you have to obey me. But only time will tell. I've talked long enough, so let me know what you think. Just keep the comments civil. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. As always, please remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.